I do not care if you win or lose, but I care if you're boring.
And as always, since day one, Southern Hand Slugfest, knockouts guaranteed. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We hope everybody's safe from the storm. We are entering Southern Hand Slugfest podcast, Dirty Boxing, episode 4. And I got a very special guest sitting across from me today. It is Mr. Michael Superman Snoddy. Mike, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. How about you?
Good, man. I'm glad you can make it on. Great to have you as a guest, man. So I'm going to list off some of this man's accolades that he's accomplished over the last 2.5 years. And so Michael Snoddy has 18 fights with the promotion. He's competed in 44 rounds, which is the second most all time, over the course of 6 different tournaments. He's the #1 ranked fighter of all time out of 248 different men. He's a 3-time heavyweight champion. He's the all-time wins leader with 15 wins, all-time knockout leader with 8 knockouts, and he's one out of only 3 men to be a Southern Hand Slugfest Hall of Famer. So, Michael Superman Snoddy, thanks for joining me, brother. How you doing, man? Doing good?
Yeah, man.
Feeling good, brother?
Right.
Yeah, it's good to have you,
man.
That's right. I know. We're gonna unveil it, man. Hey, take me back to the beginning real quick. Just walk me through your thoughts and your mentality and everything, if you can remember that far back. Very first one. Heading into it, man, just signing up for it. You already had some MMA fights heading into it and stuff like that, and this was the summer of 2022. What do you remember about that experience heading into it and just, you know, what you signed up for and everything?
Man, to be honest, when I fought in the first one, I had no clue what I was getting into. Absolutely no clue. I was just like, all right, I'm finna go in there and try to beat 4 guys up and try to win some money. That's all I can do.
Sure.
I was just on like an MMA streak, and I had fought Dennis Labruza, and I lost that fight, got knocked out. And I just stepped back for a little while. I was fighting every month for like 4 months. And I just stepped back, and then I stepped into Slugfest randomly.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to go in there and try to do this, and I did it.
Yep.
And,
yeah, it was a crazy night, man. You came in big and strong. I
was still in really good shape.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's back when you used to actually train.
I might have still had a belly, but I was in good shape with that belly.
Yeah, man, it was a great night. July 9th, 2022. So you actually ended up going 3-0 with 3 knockouts.
Yeah, I had the easy night.
Yeah. You fought your first fight. You got through that quickly. I forget that gentleman's name. Tyson.
Tyson, yeah.
Yeah, the Grizzly. Carter, that's right.
Tyson Carter.
Yep, first round knockout. Then you fought the guy from Pensacola. He was actually 3-0 as an amateur MMA fighter, Mike Taylor.
Oh.
And so you fought him.
He was
you dealt with him pretty easily. And I remember sitting there thinking, shit. Like I didn't need anybody to make it look easy. You know what I mean? And you were just kind of blitzing through everybody. So we got to the finals, and we all remember that fight well. What do you remember about the experience in the fight with Cade Miles to capture your first heavyweight title?
Man, look, Cade's got some hands.
Yep.
He was piecing me up in there.
Yeah, he's tough. He's fast.
I caught him with a serious right hand, a serious 2, and I mean, I can't say it was luck, but Cade's a freaking beast.
Yep.
And he came in this event after that and showed everybody that.
Yeah.
Just because I beat him, don't take any glory away from that boy. He's a really good fighter.
Yeah.
Proud to see that he's stepping up in the MMA game too.
He is, man. You know what made that fight special is what happened after, like you just said, what Cade has gone on to do and what you've gone on to do. So I look back at that. It's like it'd be like 2 teams who play in week 1. And then they both end up being playoff teams or Super Bowl teams. You know what I'm saying? It was just a real early collision of 2 talented guys, local names a lot of people know. And, it was cool to see, man. 2 guys meeting up, both in their 20s, both hungry. And, Cade was getting the better of you. He was fast, you know.
I remember he hit me with a 3-piece combo, and he hit me in my ear, and I could not hear for a week.
Yep. Yeah, man. You just landed that right, perfectly timed right hand, and that was it, baby. But yeah, that's one of the most significant fights in the promotion's history. Man, it's weird. It was the first event too, but
I was like, you know, oh shit.
It's all right.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it still holds a lot of weight, man. When I think about, I know the numbers. We've had 441 fights now. It's if not the most important fight in the promotion's history. Like I said, because of what y'all both went on to do, it ended the event. Yeah. There's a lot of things about that fight that just it holds a lot of weight. What kind of fighter you are, what kind of fighter Kate is. So
beginning of the
well, it sent a ripple effect, man. I'm telling you. What happened to my phone afterwards? I saw the difference, and it was funny. Just everybody wanted to fight you after that, which was cool. And
they still all do.
They still all do.
They still all do.
Yeah, that's maintained throughout the years. But after that fight, man, I saw the difference in like the signing up and the significance and kind of the caliber of fighters that wanted to compete in it. When I was getting the roster for the first one, it's a new generation of fighters. Like half of them didn't even know what a Tough Man tournament was. They didn't know what the hell it was.
I knew what it was, but I had never competed in one. So
yeah.
I didn't really know how it worked.
Yeah. And I saw going into the second one, I saw a big difference. But that fight held a lot of weight. People talked about it. They still talk about it. And two great fighters meeting in the fight. It was a promoter's dream. Me personally, I like when there's a stamp put on the end of the night. I hate when there's close decisions in the finals and stuff like that. So it ended the way it ended, and it sent a ripple effect for sure, man. But yeah, that was a special night, man. I remember your little girl getting in the ring, and you got the $2,500 in the championship belt.
She didn't come to many of my fights.
Yeah.
They don't come to many of my fights, but it was cool having her there for that one, for sure.
Yeah, that was cool, man. Packed place, 1,400 people at the Coliseum Convention Center, so that was pretty special. So 2 months later, we did it again, Mike. We were in the first event in Pascagoula. You showed up, and you went 4-0 with 2 knockouts. You fought Antonio Bell, real tough, scrappy dude.
That's the first guy.
Yep. You fought Patrick Partridge, the guy who blew his shoulder out. Yep. And then you fought Malik Pruitt.
He was good.
Malik? He was scrappy.
He was scrappy.
Yeah.
I give him that.
Yep. And you fought Squeeze Vincent Brown in the finals. So it was your first 4-fight performance, and you did it again, man. What you remember about that event, man? That place was packed. That was a wild night too.
That was so for that event, I wasn't. I might have won, but I still wasn't in good shape.
Yep.
The first event, I was in great shape. That one, I was starting to get out of shape. I was starting to get out of shape. Honestly.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was cool.
It was a tough night for me. I remember not having enough stamina that night.
Yep.
It was really rough.
Yep.
I might have made it all the way through, but I remember when I was fighting Squeeze, I was running out of air.
Yep.
I mean, he wasn't hurting me or anything, but I was running out of air.
Yep.
And I didn't feel like I was gonna be able to knock him out. When I got that punch, I was very surprised.
Yep.
I had started getting out of shape. At that point, my form was getting off.
Yep.
And I could feel it in all these events. And that's why I was just like, I'm gonna be done for a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you the fight with Squeeze was interesting. It was very competitive. And then that third round, there you hit him with that big right hand. I remember him falling face first. And it was highlight reel, man. It was crazy. And Squeeze is an animal. Shout out to Squeeze. I love him so much, man. That is my boy. He always sends me messages, man, and wishes me luck on events. So thank you, Vincent. But yeah, you went 4-0 that night, man. And I'm going to tell you something. I've never told you this before. What I remember the most about that night wasn't your fights, actually. So I used to get people, people saying crap and stuff, man. People. So I used to get people, man, because you had a way about you, and you did it your way, and we know that. And you've done gestures to the crowd and stuff like that. And people would message me all the time and be like, "Why are you letting him compete?" First of all, okay, it's not Bible study. It's a fighting competition. You know what I mean? So I'm not, well, I don't, this, that, and the other. But I'll tell everybody this. So I didn't know Mike that well heading into the first one. We got to know each other. And then the second one. So when he won his championship, a lot of people there were booing him after the second one. They were booing him. The place was lighting up. And Mike did a gesture to the crowd. And, me and him talked. And he got his hand raised. He got his money. He got his belt. And so the event ended around midnight. I was at the venue till 3:30 a.m. cleaning up, breaking down tables and chairs, the ring, putting everything in the trailer. And I remember we were just about done. It was about 3 a.m. And you called me. You remember this?
I do believe, and I apologize.
Yep. I remember that about you. I'll never forget that about you. What I thought about you after that, man, still stays with me. I remember that. I was like, Mike's a solid dude, man. Yeah. You just said, man, my conscience is getting at me. I ain't feeling good about it, Rick. I had to call you. And nobody knows that, but you called me at 3 a.m. because you couldn't sleep on it. And you called me, bro, and I remember that for real. And I said, damn. And from that point forward, what I thought about you, man, it elevated a lot. Seriously, Mike. And but yeah, I don't think I've ever told you that before, man. But I remember you calling me. We were busting butt, getting that venue cleaned up, man. You called me. It was my last call of the night. People were calling me left and right, just congratulating me on the show and stuff like that. But yeah, I remember you calling me, brother. That was cool. So Mike's okay. Mike's okay, despite what y'all think.
I ain't that bad.
So yeah, that was cool, man. And so you fought in the third one. You went 1-1. You beat Josh Walls. You fought Amos McLeod, who ended up winning the whole thing, by the way.
Yeah.
You dropped a decision to him, but
is that fella ever coming back?
He turned pro. Oh. He turned pro. He asked me to come back, but he had a pro fight after that, and I told him you can't come in with a pro boxing match. But yeah, I like Amos a lot, man. But so your streak ended at 8 fights in a row, which is crazy over the course of 3 events.
That was a close fight. He may have gotten the better half of me, but that was a close fight. I do remember I got rocked one time by him. It wasn't horrible, and I rocked him once. I remember, but I couldn't execute when I rocked him. I remember making him stumble. And you went through a lot between those events. Yeah. We know that. That was that outdoor event. And so you might not have been 100%, but you fought him tooth and nail. It was a close fight. But you did win 8 fights in a row, which was pretty crazy. You know, I threw some dudes at you, and you got through them, man. Whether you were at your best or not, you got through them. And so then that takes us to the 4th event, just to keep in chronological order. Which one is this, Mardi Gras?
Mardi Gras Brawling. That was a special night too, man. So heading into that one, it was the first event of 2023. And talk to me about Brock Reed and the build-up to that, man. And this guy, if people don't know, there was a guy named Brock Reed who signed up. I've been around boxing over 20 years. I've never in my life seen a man talk more crap about another human being. This guy used to call me at 2 a.m. and just I don't know if he was on just some kind of drug. I don't know what he was on. I don't know what he was doing. And just ramble about you. He'd call me every day telling me what he was going to do to you. He would make 6 or 7 Facebook posts a day. Oh, man. And you know my initial thing, because we know, usually that's the guy who doesn't show up. I was
kind of shocked.
Yeah.
And I'll
This guy hated Mike.
Listen, I showed up to the venue, and I seen he was wearing some knee pads. Oh, and I walked up to him, and I got on him. I said, man, those must be free when I get done with you.
Brock.
He came there with a mouthful, and I made him eat it.
Yeah. Brock said a lot of stuff. His trash talk got crazy, man. He was talking about how he had prayed to Odin on your demise, and he was just getting biblical, and he was a wild dude, man. He just thought, I guess, he was going to crazy, like psych you out with crazy, I guess, but he just got crazy. But he did show up, so I give Brock credit for that, and it was an interesting fight.
Yeah, cheers, Brock.
Yeah, Brock Reed, thanks for showing up, brother. And and Brock said what many people find out. He had been at the previous event, and he's just said it just looked different from outside the ropes. It just looked different. I was sitting in my chair. I was like, I can beat that guy. I can whip that guy's ass. And then he just got in there, and
he wasn't ready.
Yeah, the first thing I told him he'd struggle with, because I said, Brock, are you sparring or anything like that, man? Because I saw some of his training footage, and I don't want to lay him to go to slaughter. I want him to at least be somewhat prepared, you know. You sparring? No, this, that, and the other. And I saw some of his training footage, and I knew he wasn't going to understand range or punching from way too far out and stuff like that. And he was falling over his front foot. And but yeah, he went down swinging. He tried.
I remember I told Denny was reffing that one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I remember I told Denny right when I was fixing to end the fight. I looked at him. I said, "Man, I'm finna knock him out." I pointed at Denny. I was like, "I'm finna knock him out, Denny."
Yeah. Yeah, Mike called his shot. Bryce Boudreaux actually recorded it and posted it. It got a lot of views.
Yeah.
And you said, I'm about to knock him out. And Denny said, fight. So you went over there and you finished the job,
I
man.
hit him with a 3-piece.
Yep.
Like a 2, a 3, and a 2. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but he just fell and I towered over him and he didn't get back up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a wild fight, man. The crowd, especially because they knew the context of building up to it. So
that guy, I've never. So when I come into these events, there's nobody I ever like have a grudge with or want to fight. I mean, of course, he was talking shit, so I had a grudge with him.
Yep.
I really probably could have finished him in the first, but I wanted to play with him.
Yeah, you did. You carried it a little bit for entertainment value,
Yeah.
and ended up being knockout of the night. It was nasty. Brock kept getting up.
He did.
He kept getting up.
But I feel like he only was getting back up because he had talked so much crap. And I'll give him that. Like you got up and you fought back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Reality hit him, and Brock's a decent dude afterwards, you know, and you dapped him up, and it was a good sportsmanship moment and stuff like that, despite everything. But that was interesting, and but yeah, so you won your semifinals fight. You fought Desmond Michael. He's from Slidell, Louisiana. I remember that, tough guy. And then you remember fighting Adam Nash in the finals.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that fight. What you remember about that, man? I know y'all are teammates and y'all have trained together and all that. So
I didn't want to have to fight him.
yeah.
Because I don't like fighting teammates. Like I may not show up to American Top Team that much anymore, but still to this day I wouldn't want to like fight Adam in any event.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's my boy, you know.
Yeah.
We're on the same side is the way I look at it.
Yeah.
And I had to fight him, so I did. And I remember it was just felt impossible to knock him out.
That sounds like Adam.
I was like, man, how is this not working?
No headgear, by the way.
Yes, I'm thinking in my head. I mean, we're both hitting the shit out of each other.
Sure.
I remember he got me quite a few times in there, but I would hit him, and I know I'm hitting him hard.
Yeah.
And he's just coming.
Stubborn as can be.
He's coming at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God.
Yeah, the man has a will.
Yes.
He's got a will, brother.
It was intense. He every time I'd hit him, it was just I couldn't hurt him. I felt like.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was getting hurt or not, but I could not hurt him.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is such a close fight. I don't know what to do. And I just started swinging bombs.
Yep.
And I remember I had called him in the third round.
Very into the third round.
Yep. The third round.
Yep.
And that's how it ended. But I think that was too close of a fight.
Yeah. Yeah. He got up. He beat the count.
Yeah.
And he won a decision. That knockdown was big.
Yes.
And clean right hand.
Yeah.
And but yeah, Adam's just a different kind of human, man. That dude's been through a lot.
Look, I tell you one thing. I didn't even all night long. He was still battling cancer then, I believe.
Yeah, he
all
was.
night long, I did not even realize he had a shirt on. I believe.
Yeah.
That said he was fighting cancer, and I didn't even read the shirt.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that he was battling cancer the
Yep.
whole time, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I realized it like a week or two later.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness, like I can't believe he did that while fighting cancer.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
it's mind blowing to know how tough that is.
Yeah, that dude is so tough, man. I tell people, I've sat feet away from him many fights. Dude, you know, you see people, and when moments when they're hurt, you see their eyes and you see their body language, stuff like that. I know guys who are like kind of turtle away and guys who like just bite down on their mouthpiece, and I see it in their eyes and stuff like that. I've never, like, it's just like the fight or flight thing. When I've seen Adam hurt a few times, he has no, it's like there's not one subconscious thought of like retreat or surrender. It's weird, man. He just clicks onto a thing where he's like, a lot of people say you got to kill me. Like a lot of people say that. You know what I mean? Adam, something flips in his brain where he's like, hey, I signed up for this, and if I go out on my shield, I go out on my shield. And he doesn't have any retreat in him, man. So he's a special dude in that regard for sure, man. But yeah, that was a fun fight, and you capped it off. And that was the last time you won it all, brother. It's been a while, man.
It's been quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll fast forward into, you fought in Southern Hand Slugfest 6. You got to the finals and you fought Bobby Fails.
Bobby Fails.
Bobby's a big old boy, man.
That dude right there, I tell you what.
That's probably the biggest man you've ever fought.
Ever in my life. Bobby, you're the biggest man, I swear to you.
Bobby's got to be 6'6", 275.
I think he said he was, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Bobby said 278 for the
Yeah,
event.
yeah. Yeah, Bobby's a hoss.
Yeah.
So yeah, good fight, man.
That was a tough fight. He's like literally a juggernaut.
Yeah, he fits his nickname well. He's when you shake his hand, he's like stone.
Yes.
He's like stone. When I shake his hand, he's his bone density's different.
I'll say, look, one thing, he has no speed punching.
Yeah.
But it's just like brute force.
Yeah, arm, strong. Yep.
Like it's just.
Yeah, Bobby's an interesting dude. Bobby's a character. I love Bobby, man. Shout out to Bobby Fails. Yeah, that was a fun fight. Dude's a real heavyweight, and yeah, that was a good one. You fought in the next event, Southern Hand Slugfest 7. Who, I tell you what, you showed up in shape.
I fought. Yeah, that's the best shape I ever
My
showed up.
God.
218 pounds.
Yeah.
I was running every single
I remember.
day. At least 5 days a week. But it was most of the time 7 days a week for about a month leading up to that fight.
Yep.
I came in there at 217, 218, and I couldn't believe my shoulders gave out on me.
Yeah.
I was in such good shape. I was working out every day. I was running every day, swimming like 3 days a week. Best cardio I'd been in. I quit vaping, all that. Like I had my mindset that I wanted to win this one.
Yep, I remember that one vividly. You showed up with a chip on your shoulder, and I remember you showing up lean and fast and strong, and what you did to Matt Brown, who's a good fighter, a accomplished MMA fighter, accomplished Southern Hand Slugger. Matt Brown's a nasty dude who ended up going on to win the whole thing because we let him replace you in the bracket, and he ended up winning the damn heavyweight title that night. So, but yeah, your shoulder gave out, man. You were hurt, and you couldn't finish in the bracket. But that if you had kept going, man, that's my favorite Michael Snoddy I'd seen. I remember you took it seriously, man. It looked like you were really all in, and a little injury, it happens, but. Yeah, that was the last time you competed in Southern Hands, man. It's been a good little bit. He sat out 8, 9, 10, 11. He'll be sitting out 12 in October, and we're proud to announce that Michael Snoddy will be returning at Southern Hands Slugfest 13 on December 20th and Pascagoula for his final tournament. And I'm getting a little emotional. It'll be your last one, man, your last go. So he'll hit the 20-fight limit. And
you can still do super fights.
You can still do super fights, brother. You know that.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters, man. But
I'll step in there every now and then.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be good to have you back and talk to me about your mentality, man. That's a quick 3 months and you're in there. So
yeah, I'm planning. My goal is to be at like 218, 220. That's where I want to sit because that's where I sat in September, and my shoulders were in such bad shape. But I took off from the gym and everything, and I was doing a bunch of swimming, getting my shoulders back right.
Yeah.
And I believe I'm going to start a fight camp probably in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy because, I've got business to attend to with my company. But my goal is to be 220 in a lot better shape than I was then.
Yeah.
That was only like 5 weeks of training. For what event was that?
September? 7. Yep.
7?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I only trained for about 5 or 6 weeks tops for that fight. But
Yep.
I was every single day running. I was dieting, eating good. I was super healthy, quit vaping.
Mm-hmm.
I was on a whole health kick.
Yep.
So I plan on doing the same thing
Yep.
for this one, but twice as long.
Yeah, that's how I want to see you go out, man. For real, I want you to put a stamp on it, and I'm gonna throw some boys at you, and we're gonna talk about some names in a little bit. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. Your last stand, close out the year, and you're the most called out fighter I've ever had on my roster. If I showed you my messages, man, out of respect, the guys who want to fight you, man, you don't even know their names.
Yeah.
You don't even know their names.
All I can say is show up on December 20th.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
I'll handpick the best 4 fighters I can fight for the night.
Yeah.
To show y'all what's up.
Yeah, he's not going to get an easy route. We got some good names in this one. It'll be fun, man. So yeah, it'll be a hell of a way to end 2024, brother. It'll be good. And talk to me a little bit about beyond that, man. I know we talked about you going pro, doubling down on MMA, and how old are you now, Mike?
I'm 28. So my goal is to get back training back at American Top Team full time. Business has just been, where it's at, so I got to focus on that. But I'm going to try to open up a time window to where I can start training real hard like I used to. And I'm necessarily not jump straight into pro, but I need to take a couple more amateur fights to knock the rust back off of MMA.
Yep.
If I'm going to try to pursue it. So I've definitely been missing being in the octagon. I like to be able to kick people, take down, knees, elbows. I want to be able to do all that. Boxing is fun and great, and don't get me wrong, it's part of the sport. But I just prefer the MMA side of it.
Yep.
So a lot more variety of strikes, in my opinion. I like to strike more than anything.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you, man, about, what I hate to see is wasted potential. I've talked to you about that before. And I know what you can do, and you know what you can do.
Yep.
And Michael Snoddy's worst enemy is Michael Snoddy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I just want to see you fulfill that and see how far you can take it, man, and take it seriously.
I need to.
And real fight camps. And
at least for 4 years, 5 years, try. Just see.
See, man.
Like you never know.
Yeah.
I had a lot of my coaches had a lot of faith in me when I was doing it full time. And they were telling me all the time, like, you're still not doing it right. You're still not dieting right. You're still not training enough of this or enough of that. And, I mean, I might have been in great shape. I went on a 5-win streak in MMA before I lost my first fight. I mean, I was doing great, but, I still wasn't doing what I should have been doing properly. So I need to try to get it on the ball where I'm doing everything right.
Yep.
Eating right, training right, just having my mind right for the game. And I could go places.
Yep. Yeah,
so we're going to see if I can get on that kick and that roll going into 25 after Slugfest.
Yep. Yeah, you got my support, man. I want to see it. I want to see you do it and go for it. And like you said, see what you can do. Get your feet wet. Take it seriously. And you'll have no regrets, win or loss, if you're all in on it, man. You know that. So, but yeah, I want to see you all in on it, man. I watched I've watched basically all your MMA fights. I've watched a couple in person. And I know when you're training and when you're not, and when you're just in there. Yeah. And all that, so I've seen a big difference, man. But you gotta. There ain't no part-time fighters, especially if you're talking about pro and stuff like that.
Exactly.
You know how that is. Those guys get exposed.
I can't do this stuff just to play around.
Yeah. Yeah. You know how that is, man. So, well, good. I want to see that, but we focused on December 20th, man. We 3 months out from that, so that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I got a little Q&A for you. Hey, before we get into that, man, talk to me about your company, Men of Steel. I want to hear about that.
So we build pole barns, steel buildings, do barn dominium skeletons. We don't finish out interiors and all that. We do a little bit of everything, really, exterior solution wise. We do hardy siding, vinyl siding, fencing, commercial roofing, residential roofing, shingles and metal. We get into all that stuff. We don't really do too much interior work, but we do it all on the outsides. But we specialize in building steel buildings and pole barns. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those business pages. Y'all do good work, man. Definitely going to be hiring y'all for a project soon. Good, brother. That's your main source of income. That's what you do, huh?
Yeah, yep. It is. When it's going, man. Yep. It's a good business to be in. It's real. Barns are real simple to build, and I mean, when I tell you, I feel like it's one of the easiest fields. I don't know if it's just because I'm just good at it or got good at it, but brings in good money and the jobs go pretty smoothly and quick.
Where'd you learn that trade? Just growing up, or what?
So I started working for Jeff Register out of Wiggins. Register Barnes Building and Trust. I worked for them for a while. Then I started working for a company in Loosedale called Pole Building USA. And then the owner of that, I won't get too far into detail because I don't want to put anything on anybody's name, but the owner of that business did not run it very well. And he ended up getting in a lot of trouble and going to jail. So I learned all the do's and don'ts of how to run these barn businesses. Barns are simple to build. I feel like it's 10 times easier than building a house. There's nowhere near as much to it. Same thing with steel buildings. Steel buildings are like puzzles. When you're building a wood barn, you got to cut things and do certain things, but a steel building bolts together like a puzzle. So I guess I picked it up quick. I worked in the labor field for a long time. I'd say literally right out of high school up to 22 years old when I started my first business.
Yeah.
And then I ended up starting Men of Steel last year. I wanted to change it up, find something good, and start over. Fresh business, fresh start. And I started it out, and it was catchy. It was good. Good, especially good for selling steel buildings.
No doubt.
And I've been doing pretty good since I started it up.
Good, brother.
So I plan on one day being a big a big dog installer. Building skyscrapers in the big cities and stuff like that are made out of steel. Mm-hmm. So you got to start somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you know your trade, man, and you're an expert at it, sky's the limit. And mass scale and mass production is something to look at, and how far you actually want to take it. That's your bread and butter, man. So if you know the ins and outs and you're a professional, you can make as much money as you want to make. Willing to travel, you got the equipment for it. So that's good, Mike. That's good. Sweet, brother. Yeah, let's go into some Q&As, man. Some questions. I got a couple submitted to me from other people, actually.
Oh.
So this is going to be fun.
All right.
All right. I got this one sent in to me. What does Michael Snoddy consider his biggest weakness?
My biggest weakness. To be honest, I would have to say, if we're talking MMA, grappling. But if we're talking just boxing, I would say stamina and footwork.
Yep.
I need to work on my footwork a lot more. Maybe because I'm out of shape. It used to not be this bad, but that's one thing I do need to get back right or better than was before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Definitely footwork and stamina.
Yeah, that's what I put. They asked me, what is Michael Snoddy's biggest weaknesses? I said cardio and his ex-girlfriends. I swear to God, that's what I said.
Cardio and ex-girlfriends.
No doubt about that. We ain't got to get into that, but
I tell you what. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
That was good. That was good.
No doubt, brother. I know my fighters. All right, what was your favorite fight you were involved in, Southern Hand Slugfest? Your favorite one,
fight of all
regardless
time.
of the outcome.
Favorite fight of all time. That's a tough one. I mean, besides beating up Brock Reed, I would honestly have to say probably Cade Miles.
Yeah.
In the first event.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a David Goliath theme, and I may have won, contrary to the truth of the story, but it was still he was whooping my ass at first. That's what I felt like.
Yeah.
For me to that was like a good comeback when I got that punch and landed.
Yeah. He was winning the exchanges, and he was just faster, and he was
far faster.
He was just getting off quicker.
His footwork was insane.
Yeah.
I just was like. I was in some regular tennis shoes that night.
I remember.
I don't ever show up with boxing shoes. I do this just like I do it in the gym.
Yep.
I don't even put boxing shoes on in the gym. I'm not a boxer. I like MMA. Usually I'm barefoot.
Yeah.
If we could fight barefoot, I'd fight barefoot.
I know you would. Yeah. Yeah, tennis shoes, no ankle support, you're in there swinging.
So Cade it felt like he was all over me. Like I knew I was hitting him every now and then, but I wasn't landing no big shots like I normally land. Mm-hmm. And he was just moving around so much, it was tough to hit him.
Yeah.
He was always picking his hands back up to his head.
Yeah.
And like I said, at the end of it, I ended up catching him and getting that punch in.
Yeah.
And it was I felt like it was a really good comeback. Because in the fight, I thought I was losing.
Yeah.
The whole time, I was like, damn.
Yeah, you lost the whole first round for sure, and then y'all started getting deep into the second round. I was already counting the money ringside, and I said, well, yeah, Cade just looks too fast and too sharp.
Yeah.
And there it was.
Yeah.
So, that was like
Shout out to Cade Miles.
Cade Miles, yeah. He's an animal, and he's gone on a tear in amateur MMA. Yeah. He's done well. So
I'm excited to see when he's going to step back in there.
I'll try to get him on the podcast, but I can never get him to say more than 3 words at a time. So Cade, he don't say much. But yeah, man. When you're not fighting, who's your favorite Southern Hand Slugfest fighter to watch?
I mean, there's a couple.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple.
Give me some names.
Let's see. Definitely it was Adam Nash.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
I made sure I did not miss anytime he was in that ring,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what.
Yep.
Let's see, Adam. If I had a favorite, it would be Adam.
Yeah.
Next would be Josh. Josh Walls.
Josh Walls. Yeah.
I never could not watch one of his fights.
Yeah, you talk about the epitome of don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
You know, I could always tell who was new to Slugfest because they'd kind of say something about him to me. And I go, just hang around. And it'd be a bigger, strong, tall dude, and they'd end up getting matched. And go, what the hell? What the hell?
Josh put the balls on him.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. And, yeah, I could always tell who was new to Southern because they would always say something about Josh. You know, Josh is, I don't know, 5'6". He's balding. You know, he's the definition of don't judge a book by a cover.
Yes, literally.
Yeah, yeah. And,
like you look at him and you're like, oh, I could whoop his ass.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Yeah. He's tough, man. He's stubborn, and he's got a lot of great qualities about him. So, yeah, Josh and Adam Nash are good answers, man. That's good answers.
Let's see. You know who I really enjoyed watching? All right, the event, I think it was the first event in Biloxi at the community center.
Okay.
Parker from Tennessee.
Parker. His name's Byers now. He had his last name changed, but it was Parker Rye from Memphis.
Parker Byers.
Parker Byers.
He
made it to the finals.
I think who beat him in the
Orso
beat him.
Yep. In a war.
So I remember.
Very, very similar to you and Kate's fight. Parker was piecing him up in the first round, and Orso caught him with a big shot in the second and finished him. Yeah. Just like that, man. So Parker Byers is an animal.
That dude, hey, buddy.
I know.
Show up December 20th.
I reach out to them guys all the time. I love them guys. Josiah Shipley, all those Memphis guys. And Parker is my guy. You have certain thoughts as a promoter, man. Parker's my guy that I got to get him back. I got to get him back in there. No matter what it takes.
Yeah.
He's
if you don't show up December 20th, I definitely better see you sometime after that.
I message him every event. And he was on his honeymoon. He actually was going to compete last time. He was on his honeymoon. He just got married. Congrats, Parker. Real good dude. He's young. 22, 23, I think.
Is he?
Dude,
that's a big fella.
Skills.
Hey.
He's a baby giant. And he's fast and he's snappy. He only fought for me once. He went 3-1 with 2 knockouts. And he only lost to Orso. Yeah. And he was
that's a tough fella to lose.
No doubt. So but yeah, Parker, that's funny you said that name, man. A lot of people forgot his name. Parker Byers from Memphis, Tennessee. I will get him back. back. I specifically recruited him in the first one.
You got to come back, man. You got to win it one time at least.
I recruited him in Orso. You had won it 3 times, and you got on the microphone after the Mardi Gras event, and you said, "I don't know, Ricky's just going to have to get me higher level of competition." And I took it real personal. And then you sat out. You sat out the 5th event. I swear to God, you did. Yeah, I got it on. I'll never forget. I was like, okay, I'm going to reach out. Usually fighters reach out to me. I'm going to go on a recruiting spree. I was going to shows out of town. I got Parker Byers and Orso. I brought them in, and I said, I want to see what Mike can do against these guys.
Look,
and you sat out.
You know. But look,
yeah.
The best way to look at it is you got them in, and I set it out just to see if you up your gun. I mean, not that that's what happened.
Yeah,
I just set it out on other terms.
Yeah. But I swear that's what happened. Though I recruited those guys to come get you.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it was funny how it worked out. But no, Parker's awesome. He's one of my guys. He's on my short list of guys. I'm not going to sleep well if I don't get him back. I got to get him back in there.
I do. I would love to see. There's one other heavy. Who is that tall, bald-headed guy? I believe at the event that I lost to Amos.
Garrett Mercer. He's from Texas. I love Garrett Mercer.
What did he make it to? Semifinals?
Finals. No, he fought Amos in the finals. He went 3-1. He beat Adam. He beat Josh Walls. He beat big old boy, gigantic behemoth. Listen to who he beat. He beat Adam Nash. He beat Josh Walls. And then he beat this guy, Patrick Hicks. Patrick beat PJ. I think I remember. It was the guy's first time putting boxing gloves on his life, and he beat PJ. This guy, Patrick Hicks. So Garrett beat him, and then he got to the finals, and then he went the distance with Amos, and it was close. I said, this guy, he was an athlete.
Yeah.
Guy was an athlete. He played D1 football, I think. Guy was an athlete. Yeah.
I don't remember what all you was telling us about him.
If you would have beat Amos, he was next. Yeah.
Bring it.
Yeah.
So me and Ricky were just discussing an event back in 2020.
Yep.
I think it may have been BKFC. I don't remember exactly who it was. It was some bare knuckle fights.
Yeah, it was.
At Civic Center on Howard in Biloxi.
Yep.
All right. And Shaq was there.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about that.
Yep.
Shaq was there. I got to meet Shaq for my first time.
Yep.
And I got approached by name. I don't remember the guy's name. It just slipped my tongue. But they asked me if I wanted to fight in my first. It was for GC MMA. They asked me if I wanted to fight for them in January, and I had been training a little bit, and I've trained throughout my whole life, but not like I should have. But I still knew the basics of fighting. I was still good at fighting. I did it for so long. I got put in karate when I was 14 years old. That's the first martial arts that I took.
Yeah.
Kempo karate, and I took it for 6 months. A place in D'Iberville. I don't remember the name of it. Sensei Martin was the instructor. So I took Kempo karate, and along with that, he offered some other classes. I took Tai Chi, small circle jiu-jitsu. A lot of it's different than BJJ and Muay Thai. Karate is especially Kempo karate. It was totally different. That's what I started with.
Yeah.
And then after that, I trained with a couple people that had been training at Remix on Go and Flow. Go and Flow.
Yep.
In D'Iberville when Remix used to be over there.
Was that off of Lemoyne?
Yeah, right off of Lemoyne.
South of Lemoyne.
Yeah.
I went to it. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I've been there before. Yep.
So I went in there a few times, not very many. I'd say a handful of times, 8-10 times total throughout maybe a 6-month period with some friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were also training together in the backyards and having fun. That's where I learned, But where I started was Kempo. And that's why I've never really been a grappler. I like striking more than anything. Because that's what I learned with Kempo karate. It's a lot about striking pressure points.
Yep.
But they still teach you a lot of basic striking in there. And from there, I transitioned to Muay Thai for a little while throughout high school. Muay Thai, BJJ, training at gyms that I could just get away with training at when I was a teenager. They let me slide, come in, train for a little while. That's how I started. And come 2020, towards the end of the year, I started training a lot. I was training at John Dixon's gym.
Dixon's Dungeon.
Yes. I was with Dixon's Dungeon.
Over there by the Keesler base? The old one? Off Pass Road?
Yeah. I think he was actually way down Pass Road in Gulfport by the railroad tracks. That's where I started at his old. He was at the old Army recruiting office. So I went down there and I started training with John Dixon for a while, and we worked on a lot of striking. And he was very big on pushing me, very big. He didn't have a very large capacity of students, so he could focus on one person more often.
Sure.
And he spent a lot of time on things that I felt like I was not good at, like where I didn't feel comfortable. And also, he would mix in the things that he didn't think I was good at. But usually we were on the same page.
Right.
I had problems with keeping my hands up, this and that, still. So I transitioned to American Top Team from there. I trained there for a while. I didn't train the ways I should have trained, but I still was showing up for, in 2021, at the end of the year, I think it was from November to March of the following year into 2022, I was training 6 to 8 hours a day. I was coming to all morning classes. I was coming to evening classes. I was really getting into martial arts, and I was learning quick. I would be at home practicing every day. I did it for a while, man. I fought Dennis, and once I lost that fight with Dennis, I took a step back, started focusing on business, because I was training so much I wasn't getting business done. So that gave me some time to just sit back. You take your first loss, You
got down to 205 for that fight, didn't you?
I got down to 205, and I cut 12 pounds on the first day. And I could, to be honest, going into that fight, on fight night, after I done replenished all the body weight I could from cutting weight, I cut 12 pounds in 4 hours. Not very healthy. I felt amazing going into fight. I felt good. I remember I had Jake Bilbo.
Yeah,
and
I know that.
And Mike Sanford cornering me for that fight. Me and Jake were warming up in the back room. Man, I tell you what, about 5 minutes into warm-ups, I felt like my breathing and my stamina just wasn't there, and I was in great shape. That's the lowest I ever fought before, 205. I weighed in at 205.8. We have a 1 pound leeway as an amateur. Still, it was a tough cut. I had felt amazing walking into that venue. Felt like I was fixing to dominate. Best shape I ever been in. Tell you what, I was back there warming up with Jake Bilbo, and I did not feel good. I thought maybe, I just needed to break my first wind. So I broke the first wind, and I felt good. I started to feel good. I'm walking in the octagon, feel great. I tell you what, man, I'm looking across at Dennis, and I thought I had it. I was like, man, this is the lightest I've ever been. I'm going to be able to keep up with him. I'm going to be able to breathe. I broke my first wind. I had it all ready. And I didn't have it ready, man. I tell you what, that first round was brutal on me. I could not breathe after the first round.
Typically, this might not match up with that, but typically, like cutting a lot of weight, your legs are gone or you feel drained or something like that. But you felt good walking into the venue. You were able to have 24 hours to rehydrate, so that wasn't the case. And then the other thing I would say is an adrenaline dump. You warmed up a certain way, you get out there in front of the crowd, and then all of a sudden your legs are numb and you just have an adrenaline dump. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I remember going into the corner between the first and the second before Dennis knocked me out. And Mike was my corner and Jake was my corner. Jake came in there, was getting me water, getting me feeling good, had the stool, everything. I remember just turning around and looking at Mike Sanford. I believe he asked me how I felt. And I was like, I don't feel good. And he just looked at me. He said, I told you didn't train right for this fight.
Yeah.
Hey, he was right. He was right. I did not train right. He got on my butt that whole fight camp for Dennis LaBruza telling me I wasn't training right. And I should have listened. I should have listened to
So what'd you do wrong? What do you think?
Man, the diet. Me having to, I feel like I trained striking a lot, and I was really competent with my striking. I was really, I felt like I didn't have to worry. Mm-hmm. And Mike kept telling me, like, you're weighing too much. You're weighing too much. Like, you're not dieting right. You're not training hard enough. Something's wrong. And I wouldn't listen to him. And I come in and have to cut 12 pounds on the day of weigh-ins. I believe 2 weeks before the fight, I weighed 225. The week before the fight, I weighed in at 220. I think it was 220 on the dot. And come Friday, I had only lost 3 pounds. So I weighed 217. Or it was right at 217 and a half or something like that.
That adds up because previously you said you had to lose that 12 pounds real quick.
12 pounds.
Yeah.
And Mike Sanford was right. I did not listen. And that man's a good coach.
Yeah.
I like the way he coaches and I like the way he watches other people. I should have listened.
Yeah.
I did not do it. Like I said, I don't ever prepare for these things properly. And I feel like if I get on that right road, then I'll be all right.
Yeah. And, Dennis is a high-level opponent.
Yes, he is.
So also that, you might be able to do that kind of thing and get away with it with some guys, but Dennis is going to show up. He's going to show up and stay in shape. Big right hand.
Every single time. And for this previous fight with Dennis, I felt like I was doing good. Then I went on that vacation to Puerto Rico. And I didn't.
When you made that post, that was so funny.
I went swimming every day. Don't get me wrong. Like, I was swimming all day, every day.
Yeah.
But
you were floating.
Yeah. I was swimming. I only had a couple drinks in Puerto Rico. I was there for 4 or 5 days. I maybe had 3 or 4 drinks the whole time I was there. I was eating healthy the whole time I was there. I just couldn't train. I needed to be training.
Sure.
I didn't have somebody there holding pads for me or this and that.
Yeah.
I should have found a gym or something with that.
Yeah, I didn't love that fight. I told you heading into it, I didn't love that fight, but you know.
Hey, I held my ground.
Yeah.
He ain't knocked me out that time. I held my ground. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Got the best of me. Ain't no excuses, but I held my shit.
I had a guy message me. I've never met this guy before in my life. I don't know who he is. Messaged me and he said, "Hey, did you see your champion get knocked out about that fight?" You know, I had an event the next day. You know that.
Yeah,
you fought Friday the next day.
I was there.
Yeah, I'm sitting there busy. I'm you know, getting going, man. And so you fought July 12th. July 13th was my event. So me and Christian got double stacked on a weekend. That worked out good. I'm glad he had a good show. We had a great show. And he said, "You see your champion get knocked out?" I said, "Nah, man. Honestly, I was too busy at home in my giant house with my beautiful wife watching my Cash App light up like a fucking Christmas tree." That's what I told him.
Hey, screw you, buddy.
Yeah, he was trying to I was like, "What are you talking about, man?"
But I didn't get knocked out.
Yeah, I don't know what he was saying.
I didn't get knocked out.
I don't know what he's saying. Yeah, but anyways, no, Dennis is as game as they come, and that it's I know you want to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dennis the Bruiser. But I'm gonna get my stuff together one of these days.
Yeah, I like Dennis, man.
We're gonna have a good, healthy fight where we're both in shape.
There you go, brother. There you go. All right, let's get back on with these questions, man. We were on these Q&As. We'll get back on track here. I love how disorganized this one is. It's fun and it makes sense.
Look.
Yeah, I know. So, all right, so we talked about your favorite fighters to fight. What are your thoughts on Jonathan the Native Nightmare Orso, Mike? You want to talk to me about that feller there?
Do I want to talk about Jonathan Orso?
Yeah, Jonathan Orso. What are your thoughts on him?
Man,
First of all, I want to say Jonathan Orso is 7-0 with 5 knockouts at Southern Hand Slugfest. He's a 2-time heavyweight champion, and he's an awesome fighter and probably even better dude. So I want to say that about Jonathan Orso real quick. But yeah, what's your thoughts on Jonathan Orso? Y'all two are kind of circling each other in the waters, and it looks like that's going to come to head pretty soon. So
all I have to say about Mr. Orso is he looks pretty good, but I think I can beat you. So just please be there on December 20th because that's my last event, and if I lose to anybody, I'm gonna lose to one of the champions. But I don't think I'm gonna lose. Yep. So make sure you're there, Mr. Orso.
Yep.
Same thing with Hercules. Hercules, I was in your corner a couple times last event.
Yep.
You did great. You look great. But make sure you're there on December 20th because I want to make sure it's a show.
Yep. So I can confirm, usually don't do this, Hercules is 100% in, and he's looking forward to you. And he appreciated you being in his corner, and he spoke highly about you, but he's looking to see you on December 20th, so he let me know that.
I run into all of them.
So he's 100% in there. And then Orso, we're getting some things sorted out, but he'll be there too.
Well,
so
if something happens, Mr. Orso, you don't make it, then super fights are always an option.
Yeah, we will make it happen regardless. But yeah. Hercules is a interesting dude, man. He's got a good style. He's our most recent heavyweight champion. He went 4-0 in July. So one of the greatest fighters that's ever fought for us. He's actually running down your knockout record. He's getting pretty close.
How many's he got?
So you've been our knockout champion since the inception of Southern Hand Slugfest.
Since day one.
No one's ever tied you.
Day one since day one.
No one's ever tied you. No one's ever caught you. You're at 8, but you still got a tournament to go.
I'm at 8.
He's at 7.
He's at 7.
Now he's probably got about 2 tournaments left.
It's all right. I got you.
So
I can't let you take it.
The knockout title will be interesting to see that race, but he's at 7, you're at 8, and Orso's at 5.
Dang, I thought he had more than that.
Cade has 6.
So Cade's only 2 away.
Yeah, Cade's 2 away. That depends if he comes back or not, but yeah, Cade's 2
Cade,
away.
Man, come on now.
I talked to him. You know, he was sitting with us last event.
Yeah.
He started watching. He was getting the itch again. I said,
"Come on, Cade."
He said, "I might
take over that middleweight division again."
He said, "I might get a wild hair up my ass." Yeah. So yeah, I know. But anyways, yeah, Cade, it'd be great to have him back. Yeah, you and Orso it's a lot of people have messaged me about it. It's came across my radar a lot. A lot of people have talked about it. I made that one post how y'all both started out identical in y'all's first 2 events and stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting. We'll keep going with some of these names here. So you actually got me Hunter Watts. Let's talk about Hunter real quick.
Oh man, Hunter,
you and Hunter go way back, don't y'all?
Man, we go about high school, you know, somewhere in that range. We became really close friends in the last 3 years or so. Hunter, man, he's a beast.
Yep.
He took a lot of amateur fights throughout being a kid. He started fighting. He started boxing. I think he took his first fight at 6 or 7 years old, I believe.
Yep.
Somewhere in that age. Man, he's killing it. Now, Hunter's older, you know.
30.
And he's been knocking the rust off. I will say one thing about Hunter. He has been killing it at the gym. That's who I've been going to work with, and I haven't been doing much with him. He cornered me when I fought Dennis. You know, we trained together a little bit for that one. We trained, or not trained, but we trained together, you know, occasionally. You know, he's got a small little boxing gym in Ocean Springs right off of Highway 90. It's a nice little setup. It's small, but it gets the job done when you're training with one of your buddies, you know. And he motivates, and he's got motivation. And I think he's going to come in on October, and I'm telling you, he ain't doing nothing but getting better, Rick.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
I watch him.
Yep.
I train with him.
Yep.
He does nothing but get better.
Yep.
He runs every day when he's training. And occasionally, you know, I know he's started his fight camp, I believe. Last time I was training with him, he was getting ready to start kicking off his diet.
Yep.
And he's not far from weight this time either.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that much to lose. So, you know, previously in the last, I believe in his first, how many has he fought in? 3 or 4?
Yeah, so Hunter fought in, he made his debut in event 6. Then he fought in 7. Then he fought in 8. So that's 3. Then he won 10. He sat out 9. He fought in 10. So this will be his 5th.
This will be his 5th.
So
I would say 2 out of the 4, Hunter had a decent weight cut.
Yeah. Well, the first one he fought middleweight. He said, I can't make the weight. I'm just going to fight middleweight.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah.
He fought middleweight. So, but every other one he's fought lightweight. He's a true lightweight when he's in camp. And, I appreciate you introducing us. Hunter is.
I'm just happy to be able to talk one of my friends into doing it.
Yeah,
I got a lot of friends that.
He was out of the ring about 5 or 6 years when he signed up for it, and
I think it was longer than that.
Yeah, I think so. It probably was, and
I think it was 7 years, 8 years.
Yep. But no, he's became one of our greatest fighters ever. He's ranked number 7 all time. I appreciate you introducing us. He's a heck of a dude too. Besides that, he's done some things outside the ring. Hunter's a loyal dude. I like that a lot about him.
Hunter's a very interesting fella.
Yeah.
I know him personally.
I know.
It's a fun time to be around.
I know him personally. I've gotten to know him, and not like you know him, but he's a hell of a dude. A great dad. Loves his daughter.
Loves Mia.
Oh man, he loves Mia.
His name's Mia. He loves her.
He loves her. He's such a good dude, man. And no, he's a hell of a fighter. He's a student of the game. He's crafty. And it was good to see him win.
Working with some of the guys that fight in this too. I can't think of the fella's name. He's got some kid up there.
Who you talking about?
I can't think of his name.
Okay.
I believe he's fought in Slugfest before.
I'm sure he has. Yeah.
I'll reach out to Hunter and get with you about it.
Yeah.
But,
well, it's good he's working with guys. Yeah.
He's working with Hunter.
Yep.
And I can tell you one thing: the dude's getting some movement on him.
Hunter's scheduled to fight October 26th, Halloween Haymakers. Snoddy will be there, maybe working corners. We'll see. He'll be sitting ringside with me. And
everybody needs to make a vote that I can sit next to you. I feel like all the Hall of Famers should be able to sit with Ricky. Ricky gets a spot for his wife, and we all get to be around him.
Adam Nash will be there this time because he fought in the first 10, and then the 11th one, he was in New Orleans with his bare knuckle fight. So this will be the first time he's spectating. So Adam wants to sit on my lap. We'll talk about it. So, but it'll be fun. So keeping on the subject of Hunter real quick.
Adam can come sit in my lap.
So what do you think about Moses Sanders? Huh?
Oh, man.
That dude's nasty.
I like him.
He's wicked, man.
Listen, I am 100% all for Moses Sanders against Hunter Watts in the October event.
Yep. It's going to happen.
Somebody back me up and make this happen. I want them up front in the first.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
I asked Ricky. You know, I'm not the matchmaker here.
Hey, it's all random, man. It's all random.
I get it. So I know it's all random, but
so yeah, that's gonna be fun. Moses is nasty. So
I think it would be a very interesting event, especially to start it off like that.
Yeah. Moses is a special fighter. So is Hunter, and
I feel like that is they've both won.
Moses won it twice. Hunter's won it once. They both had a runner-up performance too. Yep. They both lost. Before
I think that is your iconic lightweight fight.
I know.
It doesn't have to be a championship.
No. And I tell guys, I throw champions at champions all the time. You know that, like, this is what I respect. I'll say a couple guys real quick. Like Frank Bunkley and me have talked about this. You know Frank from Mobile.
Is he going to make it back?
He'll come back. Yeah. Frank's in. Frank wants to make the Hall of Fame. He had to work. He was on a work trip, and he was up in
October.
He was up in Memphis for like 6 months, and he had to work. But I think he was on some kind of travel thing. But no, Frank will be back. Frank will be back
October
very soon.
Or no,
no, we don't have him in October, okay. But he might be back in December.
Oh,
so, but
Frank Bunkley, come on, man.
Frank's skillful, and so Frank. But me and Frank talk about this. These champions, when they come back for me, this is what I respect the most about them. This is what people need to know. You ain't getting easy fights. Once you establish yourself as a champion, just know you in December, Hunter in October, Frank, all these guys. That's what I like most about when guys come back, they say bring them all. Because I go, okay, now you're established. I can't really put you in there with a debut. I got to put you in there with somebody who...
I want both champions. Jonathan Orso, Hercules.
Yep.
Who else we got? Who we got coming back?
We got a lot of guys coming back. Josh Wall's cut to middleweight.
Yeah. Well,
isn't that cool?
Who you got in the heavyweights? That's what I need to know.
We'll do a roster reveal. We're a little far out right now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a guy who's good that nobody knows about yet is this guy named Ian Scott. He fought in the last one. Heck, you might have worked his corner. Ian Scott, he's from He's up North Mississippi.
I remember the name. I remember the name. I'm not putting a face to it.
He took Hercules the distance. Hercules dropped him. He got up off the canvas. Rowdy fight. So he was so bummed out when you weren't in it. He said, dude, he's like, man, I'm telling you, he said, I drove 5 hours to fight Michael Superman Snoddy. I said, he's not in this one, bud. Because I do the fighter roster. You see me, I do the post. I said, you didn't see me post? He said, I know. He goes, I drove 5 hours to fight. But I said, so you want the best? He goes, I want the best. I go, okay. So he fought Hercules first. But Ian Scott, he's fighting in December. That dude wants to fight you with the most respectful. He wants to fight Orso.
Okay, so
this dude's awesome.
So he's in the December event.
He can fight too.
Okay, well that's my 3 fights.
He's won another.
There's 4 fights. So.
He's tough.
Well, yeah. I feel
Ian
like
Scott wants to fight you.
3 out of the 4 opponents I need for the night.
Yep. Yeah, I want. There's a couple of guys I've reached out to. I'm trying to get Parker.
If you got Parker, I'm gonna have this. That's 4 fighters.
Well,
we need to figure out how I fight all 4 of them.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Yeah, you ain't got the cardio or the ex-girlfriends for that.
When I show up in December, I will.
I know. Well,
trust me on that one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna show up in very good shape and with very good cardio.
Yeah, there's a lot of names, man. I'll drop this little dynamite bomb on you real quick.
Right, let's hear it.
Ricky Derwin might be buying an MMA cage soon. What do you think about that?
Oh man, you're gonna be hosting MMA.
I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. This is just a rumor.
A rumor.
What do you think about that, Mike?
You're gonna host MMA.
I don't know. Like I said, I heard it from somebody.
I think that you should 100% do it. Yeah, I mean, for one, hear me out. You could not only host Slugfest in an octagon if you wanted to, but you could host MMA in it. You could also have 2 fights going on at one time. I don't know if that's a possible thing.
No, the only reason I don't like that is I think the guy fighting deserves to be the center of attention. You know what I mean? The guy signed up, he showed up, he made weight, whatever.
Yeah.
He deserves to be the center of attention. Those amateur boxing shows, there's like 6 rings in one building. They're all fighting at the same time and shit. I know. But there's not that many people there. They're just getting amateur experience and stuff like that. But no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just, maybe, just a rumor. Anyways, I wanted to run that by you real quick. I haven't said that out loud yet. So, okay, interesting. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to the rest of this year. It's taking off. We're going to be in different states in 2025.
So, let me ask you this, Ricky.
Go ahead.
Could you make it possible for, you ready, a 2 versus 2 match? No, I'm so serious. Is it possible to make that happen with the athletic commission here?
I think the only athletic commission that will greenlight that is Russia. And I've seen those. We've all seen those fights. Oh, brother, trust me.
Let's shout out all your sponsors here, Ricky. Who you got on your sponsors?
Yeah, Physical Fight Addiction. I'm wearing one of their shirts right now. James McConnell from Panama City, Florida.
Oh, I got
Love that
one.
guy. I know.
That's Moses's.
Well, they're all from Panama City, Florida. They have a big promotion over there, Gladiator Promotions.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, and so Christian's daughter fought that promotion before. You remember that, Panama City? Yep.
Yeah, beat down on the beach. Beat down on the beach.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm rocking his shirt. It's one of my sponsors. You've seen him set up T-shirt booths at my event.
Yeah, I got
before.
a couple of them. I got some whites. Ricky's got the black. I came in all white today.
The greatest HVAC company on the Gulf Coast. If you have a heating or cooling or any kind of HVAC issue, I'm telling you right now, Southern Style Heating and Air. These guys, Corey Griffin and Danny Tosh, veteran owned and operated. You know these guys?
Yeah, I had Corey come out to my house. I was having a problem with my, I believe it was my AC last summer.
I bet you had a good experience.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Southern Style Heating and Air. These two guys, let me tell you this. These guys sponsored me Event 1, just took a chance, wrote the check, put their logo on me, believed in me. These guys are so blue collar. They know their craft so well. I've had so many people reach out to me. Haskell Allen works at the fire department with me. Justin McNeil, one of my best friends. All these guys were like, dude, these guys came out to my house and hooked me up. Like, it's a scary thing. HVAC, if you don't know about it, say a unit dies on you or something like that. These guys show up. They are so well versed. They're located. They're right there in Ocean Springs, Biloxi. They can get you anywhere in Mississippi. They can get to you. These guys, they'll have cold air blowing by noon.
They showed up to my house.
I'm telling you.
I think it was same day or within 24 hours. It's been about a year. I don't remember exactly. I didn't have to wait for nothing.
Yeah.
AC wasn't working right. Came out, diagnosed the problem.
There it is.
Took care of me. I got an old house, so you know.
Yeah.
Somebody like that definitely helped me out.
I'm telling you, that means a lot. Them guys are. Without people like that, there'd be no Southern Hits like us. Forget it. Danny Tosh and Corey Griffin. These dudes are some of the silent heroes of this promotion, man. I'm serious. Guys like that are so, I don't even know what to say about them, bro. I'm serious. I love them guys so much. They believe in me. I believe in them. It's cool watching their brand grow. Just hearing that story, I didn't even know that. And you just said that story. So I didn't even know. That's so rewarding to hear.
I remember I was having a problem, and what I did was, you know what got my attention? I saw the hat that they throw out at your events.
Make air conditioning great again.
I need to call them again. I need to call them. That's what I need to call.
So
at the time I had a friend. I called that friend and she put me in touch with Corey.
Yep.
And Corey showed. I believe it was same day.
Same day.
Showed up. Bam.
Same
he was at
day.
my house within a couple hours. He came in there, did the diagnosis, told me what was needed to be done.
Yeah, I can't say enough about those guys. They're so. I'm telling you, man. Like, I'll give a little insight here on throwing an event like that. It's such a financial risk, Mike. It's a financial risk. The Coliseum show cost me $28,000. I took it out of my savings account. I don't know what's going to happen or who's going to buy tickets or something like that. When guys like that show up and write the check and help make the event happen, $28,000.
I'll tell you. I'll give you that. You take a big risk at this event. Big risk. So my business is not a risk like that. I get somebody to sign a contract. They pay for the materials.
Yeah.
I give them a price. They pay for the materials, and I build them a building. Mm-hmm. You are literally investing money in something where you have to worry about fighters not showing up. You have to worry about fans not buying tables.
Yep.
You have to worry about a lot more cons than I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you take a big risk in this.
Big risk.
And I'm going to give you a shout out because you have been killing it.
Yeah.
I mean it, man.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
I've talked to Ricky quite a few times. You can ask him. Anybody can ask him themselves. I am 100% invested into this game with him because, not money wise, just like support wise, he has 100% been killing it. And I picture Southern Hand Slugfest being in pay-per-view in a few years.
Yeah, and you told me that early on. I remember you called me one time, and you just called me randomly, and you were like, Ricky. I said, what's up, champ? And you said, you know how big this could be? Do you know how big this could be? You started like hyping me up and shit like that. I remember you called me one time, and I was like, yeah, Mike, I know. And you were like, no. Like, I want to see you become as big. I remember you hyped me up, man. I was like,
what's the name of that promotion up there in the Mid-East? Or
shit, I don't know.
Bare Knuckle Brawl, Rough and Rowdy.
Oh, West Virginia.
Yes,
I love that. That's a Barstool Sports.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see you doing better than them.
You told me that.
Because you actually have competent fighters coming in.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to have competent fighters coming in.
And you know, they're a different thing. I love what they're doing. They got third cousins fighting each other in West Virginia. You know what I mean? Like they're not even a tournament. You only fight once. So, but I love Rough and Rowdy. They're fun, man. They've entertained me many times. And
the way I look at it is if they can become a pay-per-view.
Yeah, man, I know.
How can Southern Hands not?
Well, you've seen them all, and you know the entertainment level and what they are and stuff like that.
Have I missed an event? Have I ever missed an
event? Never.
I've either been fighting in one or been sitting.
You've been sitting there every time.
I never will.
Yeah, I know.
I just.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it makes the big dog leagues.
Well, like, just talk to me from like a casual perspective. Say you're looking for a good, entertaining night out. Like you're not even Michael Snoddy and a Hall of Famer and all this stuff. The bang for your buck.
Man. All right, what's general admission? $25?
$25.
$25.
Yeah.
And if you show up on time, you can literally watch,
45 fights.
45 fights.
Yep.
What's every single time?
Yep.
If there's two weight classes, how many?
Two weight classes is going to end up being 35-ish, 30,
and
35-ish.
maybe more.
Yeah.
If he can get more fighters.
Well,
like $25, you're paying less than $1 a fucking fight.
Yeah, I had a buddy. He was like, damn, I went to the restroom. I missed 2 knockouts. Like, it's that much action. You know what I mean? Like so it's fast. It's fast-paced. We move them. Guys get busy in there. So it's a cool product. It's grown more and more. But I appreciate y'all's endorsement, man. It means a lot, bro.
Man, I'm telling you, you're doing something that the South needs.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody else down here. I mean, there's a couple other promotions trying to do it.
Yeah,
but you've been the most recent who actually started it off.
Yeah.
Since your father.
Yep. Kicked it off, man, and it's grown. You know what the big difference? First of all, the cash prizes. Like, let me tell you, the standard of Tough Man was $1,000. $1,000. So when I bumped it to $2,500, first event.
The first event.
Oof.
That's what really. Right,
yeah.
$2,000's nice. I've won it 3 times.
Yep.
$2,000 is fantastic.
Fantastic.
But $2,500 is so much better.
We're trying to get it higher, and you know that.
Yes.
So $2,500, and then no event like this ever had a belt. It was only cash. Look it up.
And the snakeskin belt is nice.
Pretty cool, right?
It's nice.
Yeah. So the belt, a lot of guys, you'll spend that money, but you can tell your kids and your grandkids, your daddy your grandpa beat up 4 men in one night to win that belt.
Yep.
Look at that. Yep. And so the belt it's got legacy behind it. So the cash prize, but also the caliber of fighters. Tough Men back in the day, I fought in them. There was no commission in Alabama, and Mississippi was very lenient, I'll just say that. It was hillbilly, people's stepdads, crap like that. Guys train for it now. They train for it now. The caliber of fighters.
Yep.
That's what I told you about when you and Cade fought. The level of dudes. Like, I remember I had guys calling me, and I look them up on Facebook naturally. Like, this guy's got 8 MMA fights. He trains year-round. And he's just one of the lightweights. The level went up where it's like the advice you gave earlier about, like, you should definitely train. The old mantra of Tough Man fights were like, man, just get in there and see how you do.
Yeah.
Just get in there and see how you do.
And some guys you can do that with.
Some guys you can do that with. Some
like,
guys got natural talent.
Some guys are get in there and throw some hands.
You won't win Southern Hand Slugfest if you don't train. I promise. Not if you don't train at all.
It's never not possible. But
that's true. Yeah.
With competition like Orso, myself, Adam Nash,
Hercules,
Hunter Watts.
Yeah. Think about the guys: Moses Sanders, Joshua Whiteside, Frank Bunkley.
You are not.
Look at these guys. You're not going to win. You're not going to beat these guys.
So look, if you don't train, feel free to sign up. But all you're doing is adding yourself to a list that you don't want to be on. Yeah. We need the big dogs.
We want to train. I want to get the cash prizes up. The crowds have gotten great. I love the crowds. The crowds have been awesome. I've already sold out the October event. I'm sold out of front row tables and basically ringsides. They're toast, man. I'm on to the second row, third row, fourth row. Yeah. We moving, man. People are buying tickets. It's going well. It's growing, but it's cool to see, man. I appreciate just having Hall of Famers there. I got to get your jacket size, by the way.
I am ready to. Hey, look.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a thing in October.
Fall's coming up. I know. That jacket ready.
So I'm doing a thing. I'm gonna get your size actually before we leave.
And look, if you give me some shorts, those shorts that we talked about, I'll post them every day I work out for this fight camp for Southern Hand Slugfest.
Yeah.
Because I'm literally gonna put a fight camp on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let Hunter abuse me for about a month and a half to 2 months.
Yep.
Abuse me.
Yeah, he'll be he'll be fighting in October, so that lines up well.
Yes.
And hey, I'll drop one more name on you real quick that we didn't mention. What do you think about PJ Taylor? We didn't talk about that fella.
Ooh, PJ Taylor.
So PJ is one of the guys you didn't get a fight.
I never got to fight PJ.
Never got to fight PJ.
How do I feel about PJ?
How do you just overall, man?
I feel PJ has a lot to work on striking. All right, you're a good striker, you're a good boxer, man. Yeah, you got it in you. You kill it, and you got a lot of fucking heart, man. But man, you just focus on some footwork and some real striking. Take your time out of your day to spend a couple months doing that. Dude, I feel like you would be a savage. That's how I feel about PJ.
Yeah.
Now, there's some things he's done. We're going to get down to him.
Sure.
You know, there's some things he's done. You got to get a hold of those too.
Yeah.
But all in all, PJ's a good fella.
He is.
And I like the way he gets down with business.
Yep. I love PJ. I've known him since he was 8 years old. A lot of people don't know that. His older brother's one of my best friends.
You've known him since he was 8 years old?
And hey, let me tell you this real quick. When he was like 9 or 10, I swear to God he could bench press like 185.
I believe it.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I believe it.
But I've known PJ that long. His older brother's one of my best friends, Adam Pellerano.
That's his older brother?
Yeah, they're brothers.
Oh, I thought they were. I knew they had something going on, but I didn't know they were related like
same that. Mom, Miss Melissa. Yeah, same mom. Yeah. Okay. So Adam's one of my best friends. And,
I like Adam too.
Yeah. You know Adam?
Well, hold on. Didn't he fight in
bare knuckle? Well, he was.
When did he fight Josh Mayo?
Oh, that was the super fight in the first fight, first event. You were yes. Fought Josh Mayo. You remember that?
It just came to my mind.
Yeah, I lined that up.
I remember it, but now I'm really thinking about it. And I'm like, whoa, I remember it.
Yep, good buddy.
Adam Pellerano won.
Yeah.
Right?
A decision.
By decision.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
That was a close fight.
Close fight. Josh is a dog, man.
Hey, look, I trained with Josh. He trains with American Top Team.
Yeah.
To be honest, one of my favorite training partners is Josh Mayo.
Is it really?
Swear to God.
Tell me why.
Josh
is about 155, 145.
Yes, and I understand that.
I'm just saying, the reason I'm saying that as being your favorite training partner is there's such a weight disparity between y'all.
It's not just about being training partners. It's about the association we have when we're at the gym, the things we talk about. He is my favorite person to be around in the gym.
Yeah.
Literally.
Come on. I love Josh. Josh is from Mobile. He showed up and wrapped hands for me many events. Josh is great. He sent me teammates. Josh is great, man. Josh is great.
Man, when I say favorite training partner, he might not be in my weight class or, be able to deliver what I need as far as fighting big people.
Sure.
But just like the things he has to say, and the person he is. You know, like when I was getting ready for Dennis, and I think the guy Will Baxter is who I fought in Alabama before Dennis. I was doing a lot of like warm ups and sparring with Josh prior to that, and man, there's just something about him. He has that motivation that I need to be around to train. Like there's some guys that are like putting half effort in. Josh is putting effort in.
Yep.
He's putting effort in. He's not bullshitting around. He's telling me what I'm doing wrong. You know, he's telling me not even just in sparring, but like just in everything in general. Like you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. I like Josh Mayo, man. Yeah,
Josh is great. Fought my first ever super fight. He's a Mobile firefighter. We got that in common as far as what we do for a living, and he loves fighting. That dude loves fighting.
We all know Josh Mayo loves fighting.
Yeah, that dude loves fighting. I love Josh Mayo. Yeah, he's a gamer. He used to tell me he tried to sign up on an event, and I was full at lightweight. Like no, I'm talking like.
Which event?
Listen to me. I was like 8 fighters too full at lightweight, and he said, "Hell, I don't care. Just throw me a middleweight or heavyweight." That's the kind of fighter he is. And I'm dead serious. I saved that text.
That's Josh Mayo for you right there.
Hell, I don't care about weight classes.
He's a heavyweight. Send him to me.
He's 150 pounds second weight. He said, "Hell, I don't care. Just put me in middleweight or heavyweight."
Oh man,
he was dead serious.
I know he was.
I said, "Josh, I can't do that. I'm gonna get in trouble."
I remember. I think so. I did like a medium hard spar with him right before the fight I had in MMA with Josh Walls.
Okay.
So it was the day before. I think it was the day before or the day of. I think it might have been the day of, because I was getting, when I was training for like Josh Walls and Will Baxter, Dennis LaBruja, Austin Hallett, I was training a lot. I went from 265 down to, I think I fought Josh. Well, of course I fought Dennis at 205, but I fought Josh Walls and Will Baxter at 220.
Yep.
So, man, it was a different game than what I walked into, because I was 265 or 260 when I fought my first MMA fight. 255 or 260, I fought Jaworski Bethley.
I know him. He's from Louisiana.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I know.
I fought him, and then I fought Austin Hallett. I finished both of them in the first round. Austin, I finished in 9 seconds.
9?
9 seconds.
With what? What'd you hit him with?
I hit him with a right hook. I hit him with a bunch of hooks.
You hit him on the glove touch? 9 seconds?
9 seconds? No. We touched gloves. Here's the problem. Austin Hallett was running around the shipyard telling everybody he was going to knock me out. And they got it back around to me before the fight.
Ingalls?
Yeah, down at Ingalls. Yeah. He was talking to a bunch of my friends, and he didn't think it was my friend. It all got back to me, and I was like, all right, I guess I might be fat right now, but I'm finna come out hard. You want to talk crap, tell everybody you're going to knock me out. I went out there ready to knock him out. 9 seconds, I finished him for Empire.
Yeah.
For Christian Garola.
Yeah.
I went out there, and I believe we touched gloves even. And as soon as we touched gloves, I put him on him.
Yep.
I was not playing with him.
Yep.
He was going around. I had 5 or 6 people calling me, telling me from the shipyard, Austin Hallett's going to knock me out. He's over here telling everybody he's going to knock me out.
Well, real quick about that, he's got to believe it in his own mind. Like, that's a good thing.
And
you know what I mean?
And yeah, you're right. So I filled in last minute.
Okay.
And I was super out of shape. I had 5 days to prepare for this fight. And when he found out that I was training for it, I guess he was going around telling everybody he's gonna knock me out, or would have finished me, whatever, Mm-hmm. So at that time I was training, but I just wasn't in shape.
Yeah.
Wasn't dieting right. Wasn't taking care of myself. Austin Hallett got the shit end of the stick out of all my fights. He shit in.
Yep.
So I was in a very bad place. I was very heated. And he was talking crap, so I had no remorse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's fight game.
After Austin Hallett, I fought Josh Walls in MMA. And at that point, I had just gotten in shape.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
I was in good shape when I fought Josh. I fought Josh at 225. I was healthy. I was in good shape. I was moving better than him. That's all it was. Now, in Southern Hand Slugfest, it was a different story. Because it's just boxing.
Yep.
It's totally different.
And for the record, that was a split decision win for you. Yeah.
I know.
Josh came to go.
MMA, I did my thing.
Yeah.
And I was really, it had a lot to do with me being in good shape.
Yeah.
I was training quite a bit for that fight. Mm-hmm. And with private lessons and gym lessons throughout the day, I had my stuff together.
Yep.
You know, I give myself kudos for that. I actually trained good for that fight.
Yep.
Southern Hand Slugfest, Josh Balls, totally different.
He's tough.
Totally different.
Yeah, he's fun, man.
He's a different guy.
Well, styles make fights.
I remember. If I'm don't correct me if I'm wrong.
You know,
I think it was the second or third round. I believe it was the second. Josh Balls hit me.
Yeah.
With a wide hook. If I'm correct, I felt it.
Yeah, Josh's game. He was excited about that fight. It was a little bit of a revenge. Y'all had fought in MMA already, so you know, I made a post about it. It was the first fight. That fight was the first fight ever. I went ahead and pre-made into an event before the bracket. I just went ahead and made it, and I made a post about it. Yep, it was going to happen. So Josh had asked me for it. He had earned it. You had earned it. But you're asking me about the next event.
Okay, so Ian, next event or my event?
Well, your event is December.
Yeah, because I'm going to win that event.
We'll see, buddy.
That's going to happen.
Yeah. Well,
so
you've got some records that are going to be hard to run down. Yeah. And I want to say this real quick. I plan on getting a Southern Hand Slugfest 100. So the reason why I'm such a numbers guy and legacy is y'all, what y'all did, the pioneers and stuff like that, y'all are going to be relevant many years from now. A lot of names are going to end up on that list.
It's hard to hawk that down.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is what I'll say. This is what I told Adam Nash when we did our podcast. He gave you such credit. Michael Snoddy is the knockout king in a tournament where it's 3 1-minute rounds. So you ain't got much time to work.
You ain't got much time.
Okay, now
you have to land that punch.
You better land that punch.
You have to.
And then, I
have done it the most.
Unless it's the finals, there's headgear on.
I mean,
yeah.
Even with the headgear.
Yeah, even with the headgear. We know what that means.
You have to land that punch.
My favorite comment ever is, okay, so there's not that many knockouts because there's headgear? I literally laugh. I go, ooh, you have never been to my events before.
Headgear only stops like temple damage.
Yeah.
And maybe a little extra help besides your mouthpiece for your jaw.
I do get some debut guys who go, dang, we got to wear headgear.
Yeah, you better want to wear the headgear.
Well, and so people don't know. If people don't know, just for context purposes, the finals, both competitors, if they mutually agree, they're allowed to lose the headgear. The reason we wear headgear, everybody in this is an amateur. I don't want head clashes. I don't want headbutts. You're going to need stitches. I don't want you to have to get out of the bracket early if you knock heads. These are amateurs. They're coming hard and heavy, and they're coming face first. That's why we wear headgear in the early fights. Now, if you get to the finals, it's the last fight of the night. Let's go. So that's why guys are able to lose the headgear in the championship. But I just want to add context to that.
Remember that one, the one event? Who was the athletic commissioner giving me a hard time? What's his name? I took the headgear off.
I don't want to say that name.
Oh, you don't want to say
All I want to say is I was right?
Yes.
And I got it fixed. We were right.
We were both right.
We were both right. Yep.
The athletic commission trying to tell us we couldn't have headgear.
And I respect the commission a lot. I don't want to.
We love the athletic commission.
Yes, we do. They allow us to do what we do. But you saw what happened.
It was a long night at the end of the night.
Yeah. So anyways, Yeah. Anyways.
I think about that night all the time.
Yeah, I know you do. Well, I told you. Well, what do I always tell you? You let me deal with.
And you did, but
right.
I had to deal with them for a little
you
bit.
Just so seconds. Yeah, I know. But anyways, that's why we do that for head clashes, for stitches, for cuts, all that. But yeah, you're gonna, for the most part,
we bump heads all the time.
You're gonna want headgear. There's a reason for that. So
you got to fight 4 people. If you think for 1 second you're not gonna bump heads one time in 4 fights, you better reconsider.
You're talking about swelling and all that. Hey, what advice would you give the guys for just calming your adrenaline down throughout the night?
Okay.
Yeah, I want to talk about this.
That's a very good question. So I took Tai Chi when I was in high school, and that's like a meditation martial arts off of karate.
Right.
I was taking the Kempo karate.
Yep.
Tai Chi helped me focus a lot on calming my nerves. All I can tell anybody is the same thing as my sensei told me. Either you're going to win or you're going to lose. Keep yourself calm and keep yourself in the game. That was like one of his biggest things. Stay cool, stay collective, stay focused. If you're in a fight, don't freak out. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. That was a very huge thing. So when I'm in fights, I remember that always. Mm-hmm. If I get punched, if I'm getting fucking whooped a little bit, I do everything I can to make sure that my emotions and the damage being done to me does not take over. That's a huge thing in Tai Chi. So when you're getting punched and you're in a fight, let's say you're in Southern Hand Slugfest and you're getting wailed on, keep yourself cool, calm, collective, focus on your breathing, keep your hands up. That is the things that you need to focus on when you're fighting in Southern Hand Slugfest.
Yep. And I want to get back to real quick what I was saying about you being the knockout leader. I told Adam the same thing. We were talking about how guys have headgears on. There's only 3 1-minute rounds and all that. These are 14-ounce gloves.
Yes.
So just like I want to just like highlight it. It's hard to think about all those factors and knocking people out and finishing them. I've sat a couple of feet away from Michael Snoddy for 18 fights now, 6 different events. And I know what punching power looks like. I promise. I've been around the game a long time. So you got it. You got that eraser. That's why you've won events even when you weren't in shape. So because you got that eraser.
So one thing that I've been told after every single fight, every person I've ever fought has told me that I hit harder than anybody has ever hit them. Whether I knock them out or I don't knock them out, they tell me every single fight. I am, 5-2 in MMA now, I believe, yeah. And what's my Southern Hands record?
15-3.
15-3. So I've won 15 and I've lost 3 in Southern Hands, and I've lost 2 in MMA, and I won 5 in a row. My last fight in MMA was kind of like a fill-in, and I wasn't in the best shape, but I'll take the L. You got to get it together before you step in this thing. Whether it's this, MMA, anything. You cannot play around with this.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, you need a coach or somewhere in your training to step into Southern Hand Slugfest, because the competition is only getting better.
Yep. And it will continue.
And it will, literally, it will continue.
You've seen it.
I've watched it firsthand.
Yeah.
And it wasn't planned. I asked Ricky to get better competition. And I wanted to fight, but I didn't fight that event, and he got better competition.
Yeah. I remember you calling me, and we're like, damn, them boys can go. And I said, yeah, I fucking brought them in for you. Yeah, like that.
I remember I remember the Parker with Orso fight.
Yeah.
Man, and I will say, I was just watching Parker all night fight was an adrenaline itself. It was worth it. He had it together.
Yes.
He looked good.
Yep.
He has of course, as an amateur fighter, he has a lot to work on.
Yep.
But he looked fucking great.
Yeah.
Man.
Didn't he?
He looked good.
Snappy.
Yes.
And he could throw.
Yes.
And he got tested throughout the night. Yeah, Parker. I could go on for Parker. I'm bringing Parker back. I don't care what it takes. But yeah, I wanted to create a tournament where like coaches went, we better set up a training camp for that. Like you need 6 weeks.
You're right. Because I tell you what, I did the whole no training camp for Slugfest.
I know.
You can't do it. Even if it's three 1-minute rounds.
Well,
think about how tiring that is when you have to do that 4 times.
So it's the opposite. Guys actually underestimate it. They go, 1 minute, I hit the bag for 10 to 15 minutes straight and all that. I go, listen, this is somebody in your chest throwing big punches, putting pressure on you. You're getting hit back. You're seeing the white light. You got to realize the pace.
Yes.
The pace.
You have 3 1-minute rounds to deal with somebody who's swinging either bombs or light punches constantly.
Yep.
Constantly. So don't think you're going to come in here thinking you missed a champion and you just going to come in throwing some bullshit. You have to come in here ready to throw some real punches and be able to defend yourself.
Yeah.
It's not don't get me wrong. It's not for the pros, but you have to have your knowledge in this league to step in this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slugfest is not something you want to step into with no knowledge.
Yeah.
You're going to get slept. And we have seen it numerous of times.
So many times.
What's Adam Nash's? They made friends together in this league. I forget his name.
You talking about a guy who is what? Tell me something else.
Ah, man, the redhead blonde hair guy.
Redhead blonde hair guy. You just said 2 different hairs.
That Adam's friends with.
Redhead blonde hair.
Man, don't make me.
Cody Johnson?
Yes, Cody Johnson.
Cody Johnson.
Cody Johnson.
Okay,
yes,
what about him?
Man, I love Cody.
I love Cody.
He slept somebody in the first round.
Was that nasty?
Nasty.
I remember you sitting ringside. You dapped him up.
Hey,
you were like, "Oh my!"
That guy fell right in front of me, and I was like,
Face
"Oh!"
Yeah, I know. Cody can hit.
Hey, you're a G for that. I love it.
Yep.
I dig it, and you better keep it going.
Cody, me and Adam talk about Cody a lot. So Cody's, I guess, I want to say this respectfully, his belief in himself. Adam Nash and him have trained together a lot. He don't believe in himself. Like, Cody, you're fast.
I'll tell you one thing, Cody Johnson, you're good. So get it together, bro.
Yeah, he's in his head. Cody could beat a lot of guys.
Yes.
He's nasty. When he's locked in, yeah, Cody's some country strong.
Bro,
and
what?
I know. I told people, I said, Cody can thump. He was Adam's first fight. They fought in the first event. Yeah. Yes. They eliminated each other. How about that?
How many fights does he have together? All total?
Oh, he only has like 6, 5.
Oh.
He's got plenty of work to do. Tell Cody.
You have no option.
I want Cody to come back. Yeah.
In October.
Yep.
I'll be in touch.
Yeah.
I'll be in touch.
Cody.
I'm not playing with you. You got to get it together.
Cody can hit. He likes you. He respects you. Him and Adam Nash were the first fight at the first event. They eliminated each other because he won the decision, but Adam rocked his bell so many times he dropped out. Yeah. Yeah. So
that's how they became
dude, I'm telling you. That's exactly. We talked about that.
Like, oh shit, Adam fucked me up.
Yeah, it was like that.
I won, but Adam fucked me up.
And the second event, he slept a big heavyweight. I mean,
Who was it? Cody did.
Yes.
Black
yes.
fella?
Yes. Oh man, dropped him face first.
I remember I got a video of him on my phone. He fell right in front of me.
Yes. Yeah.
What was his name?
He almost went through the ropes.
What was his name?
Give me 2 seconds. Sorry for our viewing audience. I have everything in my phone.
I had to ask for the name.
You know what? I used to remember everybody's name. It's just been
hard, Ricky. It's hard. You can't be mad.
Brio Kelly. He's from Biloxi.
What's his name?
Brio Kelly.
Brio Kelly.
Yep.
Ooh.
Brio the B Kelly. Yeah. But anyways, he almost fell through the ropes.
He fell through the ropes.
Yeah, Cody. Cody.
I was like, damn.
He can hit. I wish he'd come back more often. Great dude. Great family man.
He looked like he had power.
Yeah,
he lost his first fight.
Yeah.
He lost the first fight of the night.
Yeah.
So it probably took a toll on him.
Yeah.
But late man, come back.
I love Cody. Yeah.
Come on back. Don't give up on it.
But just in closing, as a promoter, especially like what I visualized and all that, we're about to come up on our 12th event, 13th event to close out the event. A lot of fighters, a lot of different states represented, a lot of people. It's networked and spiderwebbed out in a pretty special way. But just in closing, I just want to say, something about Snoddy personally. I've gotten to know you well, and we call each other even when fights aren't going on, and we talk.
Yeah, all the time.
You my boy, and this promotion, for what I envisioned it being and all that, you were the villain we needed early on.
Oh, man.
I know. Just,
Everybody says that. I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. Look, I'm not the bad guy.
You're not the bad guy.
I'm not.
You're not the bad guy.
Now, don't get me wrong. We step in that ring, I'm going to talk some shit.
Yep.
So,
and
on the aspects of, like, Michael Snoddy versus Cade Miles, I'm the bad guy. Yes.
Well,
Michael Snoddy versus Adam Nash, I'm the bad guy.
You're a bad guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You were the villain early on that the promotion needed. I just want to say it generated interest. It generated, whether you're getting talked about good or bad, it's good.
It doesn't matter. Hey,
it don't matter.
Y'all can hate on me all y'all want.
Yeah, there's people out there. I've gotten a lot of messages you'll never read, you've never read before. They tuned in, though. They tuned in. There was a lot of people who seriously bought tickets from me. I'm telling you, I used to keep a gallery. I kind of gave up. There was so many. But people who bought tickets to watch you lose or bought tickets to, whatever.
They just thought I was going to lose all the
Well,
time?
they just want to see you get your ass whipped or something like that. But
keep on buying. I got one more event.
Like I said, you're the villain the promotion needed early on. You did it your way. A lot of the fighters look up to you and they respect you and they know you now. I got guys who, they're lightweights. They never fight you, but they know who you are.
Yeah.
They respect you. They appreciate what you've done and stuff like that. Because they have competed in so many Southern Hand Slugfest tournaments, and they're like, damn, this shit's hard. How the hell did that dude win? How did this dude win this 3 times?
Yeah. Imagine fighting the big boys. And not even necessarily like my first event. Cade Miles was really tough. He really was. But like fighting people like Jonathan Orso, Hercules, Ian Scott.
Yep.
Ian Scott. I mean, just people in general like that. That's a tough competition. And I hope they bring 100% of their A game for December.
Yep.
Because I'm coming. I'm not going to show up out of shape. I'm coming to deliver some what you want to call it, like retirement messages, like.
Well, it's gonna be your send off.
My send off.
Be your last event.
The tournament.
That's right.
The tournament. Everybody needs to remember that.
I'll always get you fights.
If you
want
to call me out and it's worth the time, and
if it's worth the time, and we can talk about deals.
Exactly.
Yep.
But Jonathan Orso, Hercules, Ian Scott. That's my 3 guys so far. There's one more, but I don't know who it's going to be. But y'all 3 better be there on December. I'm not talking no crap. Not out here running my mouth. But I want some smoke.
Yep. Incredible guys. I'll say this about like Orso real quick. Man, when you're sitting right there, I'm the closest man to fighting him.
Okay, the thing about Orso is, though, he gets everybody on the ropes.
He knows how to cut off the ring.
Orso, you're not going to get me on the ropes, dog. What you got? Hercules? Who's next? Hercules?
Well, hold on. Orso, I'll just say, when he hits,
hard.
Listen,
I see it.
When he hits, it echoes.
Okay.
He hits.
But when I hit, I shake heads.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
I hit a lot harder than Orso does, I promise.
Hercules has good head movement. He's crafty. He's got quick hooks.
Yes.
You know that.
I will say
he knows how to stay low.
Has Hercules and Orso fought yet?
Yeah, they fought in the finals of Southern Slugfest 9.
And Orso won.
Orso won.
Yes.
And you know what? It was close.
I'll tell you one thing. Orso, you got lucky. I just don't think you have what Hercules has.
Yeah.
I think you won that one on luck. And I can't even say luck. You might have had a little skill in there. But you won it. And I'm not going to take that from you.
He won.
He won.
Yeah.
You won.
Orso landed his punches. Trust me, they both dropped the headgear.
Yes.
And they fought in the finals. And
one thing I will say about Hercules, I think he is good, man.
He is. He's crafty. Yeah. He had an amateur background.
I think he is very good.
Yep.
And Orso is just starting his amateur MMA.
Oh yeah.
And I praise him, and I hope he does great.
Yeah, me too.
But Hercules I feel like he has a little bit more together.
Yeah. And
Orso got lucky that time. That's me.
You were there.
I know Orso's good, but man.
Yeah. It was a fun fight. I got excited. Orso got a bye. So heading into that fight, Orso was 2-0 with 2 knockouts. Listen to this real quick.
So he got a bye like I did.
Orso got a bye that night.
So we're even.
Yeah, but listen. At Southern Slugfest 9, Orso was 2-0 with 2 knockouts. Hercules was 3-0 with 3 knockouts. So neither had won a decision all night. So they cleaned the division up.
The only one that has more than me is Hercules.
On what? What accord?
How many wins does Hercules have?
9.
9 wins.
Nobody has more than wins than you. I already told you that.
But I feel like if you're adding the numbers up between Hercules and Jonathan, who's the best one to fight? On your behalf, Mr. Dubron.
It's interesting. They're both champions, first of all. Champions.
Can I have one of the champions first?
You will. You will fight one of them first. So
is it my choice or yours?
It's going to be mine.
Okay.
Because...
Well, I'm going to leave my choice out and let them boys wonder.
Who you want to fight first? You want to fight Hercules or you want to fight the native nightmare?
Who do I want to fight first?
Yeah.
In all reality, I think Jonathan is the tougher fighter. Now, Hercules, I feel like, is the more skilled fighter, but I think Jonathan's tougher. So I want Jonathan first. I want Jonathan Orso out the gate.
Okay. That's interesting. I love it. That's something we could probably make happen. And I'm excited to announce a lot of stuff. You know, that's 2 events away, so I've got so much on my mind about the October event.
Well, you just focus on the October.
Yeah, I know. You'll be there.
And we'll worry about December 20th later on. But I had my request in.
Over 40 men signing up for the October event with a lot of reserves waiting for somebody to drop out. Exciting debuts, returning champions, all that. So, but December's going to be fun. But I'm glad Mike's finishing on that note. But I just wanted to say, in closing, that these guys who stepped into this, you know, these guys show up. They fight 4 different men on one night. They don't even know who their opponents are going to be. They show up ready to go. 3 1-minute rounds. They don't ask no questions. Snoddy's never dropped out of an event he committed to. 6 for 6. Anytime he told me he was going to be fighting, he fought. That's it, period.
I quit for 1 because I had an injury.
Shoulder.
Double shoulder injury. I was done.
Yeah. And he was compromised. I didn't want him to compete anymore in that event. But 6 for 6 on showing up. I appreciate the guys who do show up. When they say they're going to be there, they're there. You know, guys get hurt. Life happens, stuff like that. But I just want to say I appreciate all the guys who make the walk. They show up ready to compete. They don't know who their opponents are going to be. They get neutral cornermen. You don't get your regular coach in there. You take a lot of risk. I get guys who can fight. They avoid this. They don't want nothing to do with Southern Slugfest. I got undefeated MMA guys who reach out to me going, my coach don't want me to do this.
Anything could happen.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
You could be.
Yes.
I'm the number one in the state for amateur MMA, but I could step out in your field out here in Slugfest, and anything can happen to me. And all I can do is box, and it's not even really necessarily just focused on boxing. It's about letting your hands go.
Boxing is a whole different thing.
Whole
different thing.
Boxing is one thing. Southern Hand Slugfest is about getting in there and knocking somebody's fucking head off.
That's what it is. Taking the other guy out.
Yes.
Do more damage than the other guy does on you.
Yes.
Make it obvious who the winner was.
I might be slow, and I might deliver punches half the speed of somebody like Cade Miles. Or even Adam Nash, because Adam Nash has lost a lot of weight, and he's delivering a lot of punches.
Yep.
But the thing is, the goal is here is to hurt somebody. Damage them, knock them out. Don't come in here thinking that you're just going to win off a split decision every single time.
Yeah.
Your goal needs to be to come in here and lay some overhand, heavy punches and win some fucking money.
Yep.
Don't come in here with no training thinking you're just going to win. Because you have competitors like me, Jonathan Orso, Hercules, Adam Nash, Cade Miles.
If you don't train for those guys, they will expose you.
You never know when they're going to fight.
I know.
We don't know when Cade's going to come back. But hey, you might be the guy who signs up for Cade's event. Don't think you're going to beat Cade. All right? I might have beat Cade. I'm not going to say it was lucky, but it was on the higher side of luck.
You landed the right punch at the right time.
I landed the right punch at the right time.
That's it.
And not everybody ends up like that. So don't come in here. We need the big dogs.
Yep.
Where y'all at?
Trust me, I'm recruiting. There's debuts. You don't even know their name yet, and they can fight.
And I'm ready, Rick.
David is awesome. That's a guy, like I said, 0-1. First tournament. Second tournament, 1-1, but wrong end of knockout of the night. I mean, he got collapsed. Bad knockout loss. He comes back, event 11. He goes 4-0 with one knockout. He actually knocked out Lucas Helen. Remember the Seawolves guy?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Beat everybody I put in front of him. Everybody. And what you got to say? Be quiet.
Off the record.
We're recording. So say what you got to say.
No.
You like Lucas?
Yeah, I love Lucas.
He's a great dude.
What do you mean?
I love him.
Lucas, hockey player, young boy, out there throwing hands.
Yep.
He was listening to me when I was out there, and
I
was trying to help him in the corner. Oh man, he was killing it.
I love it.
Killing it.
He did great, man. 2-1. He did great.
Hey, give him a couple more years.
I know.
Give him a couple. He's only fought once or twice.
He fought in one tournament. He went 2-1.
Okay. Give him a couple more. Couple more tries.
He's
just wait it out.
As a natural athlete,
he is a very natural athlete.
Yes. Yeah.
And man, I tell you,
Helen can go.
He looks fantastic, but he's got to focus. I think he was training the American top team, from what I believe they told me.
That's right.
And man, I tell you what, if he sticks around for a while, that dude could become a real good.
I'm going to bring him back. He's got the hockey season, so he's got certain times a year he can fight and he can't fight and stuff like that. But Helen's a dog, but he had a great experience. He got knockout of the night. He went 2-1. He made it to the semifinals. He won bronze in the middleweight tournament at Southern Hand Slugfest 11. But David King, I just want to highlight him. That's a name a lot of people don't know. He's the returning middleweight champion.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. And to be honest, I'm kind of fond on it.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing. You've won one. So come in and win two and remind me who the hell you are.
Right. That's right. That's right.
That's me being utmost of respect.
Yep. He'll be back. He's back in October.
It's all one thing for you to win one, but when you win two, you start to become somebody in this sport.
Yeah, your name.
Even if you're not Hall of Fame or anybody special, you start winning two events, you're a big dog.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a separation. Yes. Like, I'll tell you this statistic. It's so competitive, I'm telling you. Nobody's ever won the middleweight championship twice, except for Cade Miles.
He's won it three times.
He's won it 3 times. Yes. Nobody's even won it twice.
And Matt Brown won it once, but then he won the heavyweight.
Heavyweight. Yes. That's right. So nobody else has won middleweight twice. Yes. Yeah, so David King's coming back. He's excited. I think I might get Jake Jensen back. You remember that guy?
Sounds very familiar.
Yeah, from Florida. He wore Chuck Taylor's.
Oh. Stop.
With the long hair?
Stop. I know you're talking about.
Hold on. He's our only 5-0 champion ever. He went 5-0. I had too many guys in the bracket. Yeah.
He's the only 5-0?
Only 5-0 champion ever.
I passed that.
Well, he's the only one night 5-0 champion.
One night.
In one tournament.
5 people. Hold on.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Hold on. You're saying he fought 5 people in one night? That's dirty. That's dirty.
My bad.
Dirty boxing at its finest.
I actually added $500 to his purse because of that.
Really?
You were there.
Did he
you
win?
ain't paying attention. Yeah. He won the whole thing.
It was
a $2,000.
The first one?
No. The 9th one. Mike doesn't know what's going on, y'all.
Listen, hold on. I'm in there, but
so
I don't pay as much attention.
So what I'm trying to say is Jake Jensen won the middleweight tournament. He's from Pensacola, Florida.
Yep.
The 9th event, you were there. And what I'm trying to say is he's the only champion ever that had to go 5-0. I had so many middleweights that event.
I might have missed.
He went
5 fights.
He went 5-0 that night. And so I was supposed to only pay him $2,000. I gave him $2,500. I said, my bad, man.
Hey.
You had to fight an extra time.
Well, that's high quality fucking.
I'm a nice guy.
Literally shows exactly what type of businessman you're dealing with when you fight for Slugfest.
Yeah.
You have to fight an extra fight. You take the man extra money.
I paid him $500 extra.
You can't get better than that.
He knows that. Jake thanked me, and he was great, man. But I'm probably going to bring him back. But yeah, he's our only 5-0 champion. So that dude was exhausted.
Tell him to get it together.
As soon as I said Chuck Taylor's, you knew who I was talking about.
Yes. As soon as you said the flat bottoms.
Yeah. What? Yeah, that was my guy. I love that dude. I'm gonna bring him back. Great hair.
He looked fantastic. He was threw
a lot of punches.
Yeah, it was kind of shocking to see somebody throw so much.
Yeah.
And not know that much.
He threw a lot of his volume was
and he didn't look like complete shit either.
Yeah, he's got amateur MMA fights. I think he's 3-2, something like that. He's fought for Dean.
Yes.
He's from Pensacola and stuff like that. But no, Jake's a dog. So trying to get Jake to come back.
That's a good fighter to have back.
Yep. But anyways, we're rambling on. We could talk on for days, man. But yeah, I just appreciate you, brother. And even outside the ring, you've helped me a lot. The last event, you stepped up and helped me, and you've been there for me, man. And you know I'll be there for you, and I have been there for you. And you were the villain of Southern Hand Slugfest. So
everybody says I'm the villain, man. Look, I hope when I come in there, it's my last event. I know I got haters. It is what it is. But it's my last event. And for one time, all bullshit aside, I don't want to hear nobody talking no crap. I can only fight one more time. Let me give it my all. And let me hear some of y'all cheering for me instead of talking crap about me.
Yep. It'll be a good time. It'll be an explosive event. Great way. I barely added that event to the schedule. Squeezed it in before Christmas. So I'm excited about it. October 26th, Southern Hand Slugfest 12. Halloween Haymakers, Southern Hand Slugfest 13. December 20th, that's a Friday event, y'all. Skillful Violence. Michael Superman Snoddy's last event. Kryptonite is not his weakness. It's cardio and ex-girlfriends, okay, y'all? So we're going to sign off on that. We appreciate everybody. Mike, thanks for being a guest on here, man. I'm going to have you back on here, brother. And like I told Nash, just after an event, I'll have you on, post recap. Tell me what you think of these new guys, stuff like that. I got a lot of guys coming in. hungry and motivated and willing to make a name for themselves. So appreciate you.
I'm gonna be picking these new guys out for super fights.
That's right, brother. Yeah,
but they gotta win at least one or two.
They gotta win one or two. It's great tournaments. Every event holds a lot of weight. So we appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank you, everybody. God bless. Glad everybody's safe from the storm. And onward and upward. Thank you, everybody. God bless.
Y'all have a good night.